Hey everyone, Donald J. Brower, GardensStateHSWrestling.com, the Near Fall Podcast. A day late, but never a dollar short. We kind of took a little time after the amazing day of wrestling down at Rutgers, and obviously Super Bowl Sunday, which it ran right into. So kind of wanted to give the guys a little break. We're recording a day later, but like I said, never a dollar short. Speaking of never a dollar short, we got to thank the sponsors. Champion Athletes, Dan Warnikoff. As I've said numerous times, if you've watched the old ones, if you're new to the podcast, your body is like a car. You train, you do everything you do, you need the right gas. Dan Warnikoff will help you. If you're an athlete, a non-athlete, in-state, out-of-state, Dan Warnikoff's all over. ChampionAthletes.com, check him out. Got to see one of his prize clients, Pat Glory, down there at Rutgers during match, and he sings the praises of Dan Warnikoff. So please give Dan Warnikoff a shot. And it's actually funny, all three of our sponsors I saw somebody as a representative of. So Apex Wrestling School, I got to talk to Damian Logan, the founder. 2002 he started with Dane Tabano, 4 locations, New Jersey, 1 in New York and Manhattan, one of the fastest growing wrestling schools. I got a chance to talk to him, so thank you, Damian, for the conversation. It was really, really cool to kind of talk to him about some wrestling. But Apex Wrestling School, thank you so much. And, of course, the Harrington Companies. If you have a house, you want to build it up, you want to make it look nice, you want to rip it down and start new, the Harrington Companies, they have you covered. So hopefully, also with the Harrington Companies, we're going to be getting a new version of the Ryan's Hawaiians from last year. Maybe we'll have the exclusive on sale date. We'll see. But thank you to the Harrington Companies. Now, as I said, our coverage from last week, there was a couple local matches, a couple little things, but obviously it was, groups, sectionals and groups. Now, I was at a sectional final at PCTI, amazing match. You want to talk about coming down to the wire. Last match, PCTI is leading. Clifton, 2:15, sends out Garavina, gets the takedown with 5 seconds left in overtime, wins it for his team. They advance on to the group semifinals. Tough loss for PCTI. That actually will affect my rankings, which we'll talk about, but that was a great matchup. And then right up the street, probably a mile and a half as the crow flies, the first ever 7-8 sectional final as Wayne Valley hosted Montville. Now, I got a chance to talk to a couple of people from Wayne Valley, and they kind of looked at the bracket and expected, to possibly advance. There was no doubt that. They didn't think they'd be hosting a match 2 days later. They didn't think the other side of the bracket would be completely busted. But that was a tough Montville team, and they were right in it with Wayne Valley. But we live streamed that as well, and it was a really, really solid matchup. And then group semis, I had the privilege of calling the Mount Olive versus Brick Memorial match from Mount Olive. Lighthouse Sports Network had the production. I've done a lot of work with them down there. Great matchup. With Lincoln Utes winning it for his team, a guy who I've said this before, and I kind of tell everybody, and I said this on podcasts and live streams. It's never the hammers that do it. Obviously, that helps when you have really solid guys, but it's those guys who may not be the top-notch guys and may not be the attention grabbers, but they're the guy you need to win right now, and that was Lincoln Utes. And he had a great match and clinched it for his team, and they went down to Rutgers. Now, Rutgers, it was 4 matches at 11, 3 matches at 1:30. Now, most of our coverage area matches were the early session. Paulsboro wound up beating Del Val, which was a little shock to me. I thought Del Val looked a little sluggish and tired. Paulsboro looked like they were ready to go and then took advantage early and won it there, denying Del Val their chance at a three-peat in Group 1. In Group 4, the most shocking was Ridge beating Mount Olive by 2 points. There were Mount Olive was in control. There were a couple matches that were swing matches and one upset in my mind, and that's turned the tide for Ridge. Taking nothing away from Ridge, congratulations, but Mount Olive had that match in control, and they'll rebound. They got a lot of people coming back, so I don't think it's going to be the last time Mount Island's heading down to Rutgers to fight for a group title. And then Group 5, Southern beat Phillipsburg. Southern's probably the most complete public school team in the state, I would say. And they showed it on the mat against Phillipsburg. But listen, take nothing away from Phillipsburg. They had a great season. I'm sure they're going to have some great representation in the upcoming districts, regions, and states. And I think they'll be very well represented. And but they wound up losing to Southern. Then the second session, my feel-good story of the year, and this isn't taking nothing away from them making it. Jefferson, they lost to Rumson Fairhaven, who's a good team, but this is a team that always seemed to have a hurdle in front of them. Whether it was injuries, they couldn't get the guys in the lineup right. Coach Moscatello set a great foundation, and new head coach Chris Lance came in and motivated them to the next level. They get down there, they lose big, but they win the first sectional title in nearly 20 years for the school. They have a lot of seniors, but they got some guys who are behind those seniors, I think, can keep them going. And they can make another run at a sectional title, I think, next year. So, that was a really good match. I had a chance to talk with him after and got an interview with him. So it's an audio interview. You can check it out on our social medias. It's up now. And then the big one, I think everybody was looking forward to. Everybody had that marked on their calendars from the beginning of the season. Number 1 versus number 2. St. Joe Montvale versus Del Barton. This match last year, St. Joe's won it last year. They were the number 1 team coming into this year. And I was always under the way of St. Joe's earned the number 1 slot. And there were a couple people, well, Del Barton. I wanted to see them wrestle first. And I'll admit it, Del Barton was clearly the better team. The matches they lost, they minimized the bonus points, which is key against a top-notch team like by St. Joe's. The thing I noticed, and this is just my observation, and I kind of saw it there, even after the losses. So, for example, when somebody from Del Barton lost, say 4-2, when they came off the mat, their team was cheering them on. They were really happy, like, yeah, you great job. And there was a real camaraderie. I didn't see that on St. Joe's. Not saying that they're not close, but I didn't see that extra energy. So congratulations to Del Barton, back on the top of the heap, number 1. If you weren't there, you missed it. What you really missed, too, if you weren't there, was the battle of the student sections, because they were going back and forth with some chants. There was some funny chants. So if you get a chance, watch the replay, you probably hear the background, and they were going back and forth. But, great job by Rutgers and the NJSA. It was last year was their real first year down there. I think they kind of learned from it. It was really a great night and day from last year. I thought last year felt a little rushed, if that makes sense. And everybody's credited, this is amazingly done this year. So I think they got the right formula with what they're going to be doing. So, I know, especially down there too, I know there was a lot of talk, off the record, on the record with some people about, should they go back to 4 groups? Should they just have a straight up non-public champion? I know those things are going to be discussed, but that's something for later on down the line. Now, that's the end of the team season. Right now, there might be maybe 1 or 2 results I have to put up from previous weeks, because you always get that random match, especially this last week, where somebody could wrestle, lost in the sections, picks up a random match. But most of the team pages are done. The only thing we have to update is going to be districts, which is going to be this weekend. Now, looking at our district schedule, we're going to have 3 districts covered this year. I know everybody's been asking which ones we're going to be doing. James Clark is going to be at District 11 in Morristown. I am going to be at District 6 in Roxbury, and Shane Dunn is going to be at District 1 at Jefferson. We're going to be on the main call. I'm working on some surprise color commentators. I don't want to confirm anything yet, but we're looking to get some people in that can, help us out and spread the word a little bit and, be good to go. So, we'll see how everything goes with there. Now, time to look at our rest. And this was a tough week. when I look at everything, I've always said, if you win your 100th, you're going to be my wrestler of the week. So before I get into that, there were a ton of people who won their 100th. It seems like it was Monument Day this week. So first, I got to mention Sophia Kletcher of Pequannock, the 121st girl wrestler in school history, won the NJAC tournament for Pequannock last week. Congratulations. And then for the 100th win, we had Tyler Venus from Mount Olive, Alessio Parenton from Del Barton, James McGinty from Par Hills, Jack Bergman from Lakeland, and Nicholas Laciatello from Pompton Lakes. Now, I always say that my rule is if you win 100th, you're wrestler of the week, unless something bigger happens. And there was a bigger story this week and somebody who did something. My wrestler of the week is Jack Myers of Morristown. He broke the school wins record with 117 school wins. That, to me, is like you're playing poker. You have, a full house and a straight flush. That's just basically how I look at it. And Jack Myers, you break a school record like that, especially with that historic program, that's a royal flush. So congratulations. Now, our final rankings, our team rankings, they're pretty much set. As the team setup is here, I'm going to kind of dive in a little deeper this week. But as far as it goes, Morris, there's really no change. Everybody kind of slots in where they have to with what we did. Quick recap of who was there in case you haven't seen it or, you haven't been on the site when it comes to the Morris rankings. You have Butler at 10, Roxbury at 9, Par Hills at 8, Jefferson at 7, Montville at 6, Morris Hills at 5, West Morris at 4, Hanover Park at 3, Mount Olive at 2, Del Barton at 1. Hunterdon Warren Sussex, you got Voorhees at 10, North Hunterdon at 9, Warren Hills at 8, Sparta at 7, Pope John at 6, High Point at 5, Kittatinny at 4, Hunterdon Central at 3, Del Val at 2, Phillipsburg at 1. Now, there's a little change in the Passaic because of a result. I know people are going to kind of be like, well, what about earlier? I've always just said in how it goes, it's how you're wrestling now. So for my Passaic top 10, it's Hawthorne 10, Wayne Valley 9, DePaul 8, Pompton Lake 7, West Milford 6, Wayne Hills 5, Lakeland 4, Passaic Valley 3, PCTI 2, and Clifton 1. I know PCTI has won 2 previous ones over Clifton, but you beat them in a sectional final. That's how I go with it. Like I said, I'll be working on those a little bit and get them all kind of set up a little bit. And one thing I wanted to mention too is everybody was kind of talking about the triangle. I think it goes the right way with Lakeland at 4 because they wound up beating West Milford in the sectional final or sectionals 52-30. So it kind of gives a little, extra room there. So as I said, we have our districts coming up. We're going to be doing something special too. We're going to kind of be doing a reporters roundtable talking about districts. That should be up before districts. We're going to record at the end of the week once we get the seeds and kind of see where everybody, falls in line. Shane Dunn, James Clark, and I will be doing that. It'll probably be done, we'll get it all together Friday, have it up Friday night so everybody can kind of do like a primer type situation. We're actually working on doing something cool with the memberships for the YouTube. We're kind of do some exclusive content there. And we're working on setting up some stuff with districts as far as what it is. Right now for districts, the way we're going to do it is because, obviously got to take care of the state and do stuff like that. Each district final is going to be a $6 charge. It comes out to like 50 something after fees. And that goes to, help cover the crew, make sure we have everything good, and try to get stuff there. And then we're also going to be doing Region 1. We're just waiting on the state approval, but that usually is never a problem. Each one is going to be $6, but we're going to be doing something cool. If you guys want to watch all of them and get them for a cheaper price, there's going to be a bundle price. That'll be posted before districts. So that way you'll be able to get all 3 districts and the region done. So before we go, follow us on social media. Thank you so much to everybody who's followed us. The views are amazing on our YouTube. It's through the roof with the subscribers. I mean, we're running with everything. Follow us on social media on Facebook, GardenStateHSWrestling.com. on Twitter, X, Garden State HSW, on Instagram, Garden State HS Wrestling, and like I said, on YouTube, like and subscribe. You're not only going to get notified when we go live with our districts and regions, you also get notified with the podcast and some of the extra stuff. And I'm going to in Atlantic City for all 3 days. I'm going to have a nightly one that'll go up and most likely be up first thing in the morning each day. Give them a little recap and some notes and news and everything. So like and follow for that. We're also finalizing, like I said, the venue for the All-Star match. That should be in the beginning of May, just getting everything set up. But thank you so much for all your follows on social medias. Like I said, if you want to be a sponsor, I know we have limited opportunities left for the 23-24 season. Send me an email at admin@GardenStateHSWrestling.com or click on the Your logo here. There's a form you can fill out. It comes to me 24 hours. I get back to you. We're very affordable. When I tell you, like, you're going to think we're giving you, it's almost like I'm paying you. I'm not going to pay you, but it's almost like I'm paying you in a metaphorical way. But, we definitely are getting some stuff together for the districts and regions as far as live streaming, if you want to sponsor that. And then also for next year, we're booking limited matches upcoming. We have some schedules coming together with everything going on. If you want your team live stream, please reach out to us. We come with the cameras. We come with the knowledge. We come with everything. Don't listen to the goof. We deliver the proof. Why work with the rest when you can work with the best? GardenStateHSWrestling.com is the premier high school wrestling coverage provider in New Jersey. We broadcast the most wrestling in the state of New Jersey. And once again, thank you to everybody who came up to me, shook my hand. I can't count how many times when I was walking through Rutgers, I heard random people yelling, Donald J. So thank you. I really appreciate it. But for Jared, the podcast legend, and everyone, thank you so much. It's here, the postseason, the road to Atlantic City. Let's go. I'll see you Matt side.